What's up guys, Damon Parr with the Hunter's Warehouse. In this video we're gonna update the firmware on the Cuddeback Cuddelink system. New firmware has come out. It's been out for about a week now. It's very important that we update our cameras. Lots of new features, faster transfer speed on images, better image quality. The app has been updated to get all the new features of the app. We need to update our cameras. So this was a big update that Cuddeback's been working on for a long time, and it is important to do this. So there's a few steps. The first step is to put the firmware on an SD card, and you do need a laptop that has an SD card slot to do that because it gets downloaded from the Cuddeback website, and we're going to show you how to do that. Once I have the firmware on the SD card, we're going out to the field. I have a system that's out right now, so we'll start with updating the home camera. I have a G cell home, so that's actually a camera that takes pictures, but we're going to update that, and then we will update a couple remote cameras. So after watching this video, you should feel very comfortable. Everything you need to know to get your cameras completely up to date. So step one is we're going to go to the Cuddeback website. So I'm just going to open my, actually I'll just start here with a new tab, cuddeback.com, and immediately on their landing page here, they have it right here. Click here for a free firmware download. They explain a little bit about the firmware, and then you scroll down, and right here you have download Gen 3 firmware. I'm going to click on that, and then there's options for the firmware. So there's one firmware download for G, J, and K series, and then there's another one for L series. Now you can put both of these firmware on the same SD card. I am just going to keep them separate. So I'm going to have one SD card that's going to update the G, J, and K series, and then one SD card is going to update the L series. I personally have the G home camera, I have some J series, and I have some L series. So I actually had to do this on a property yesterday, so I already downloaded the G firmware. So I'm not going to do that again, but it's the same process as the L series. So I'm going to show you how to get the L series firmware. So I'm just going to scroll down here. Download firmware for L series. Click on that. And then I'm not going to open it right here because sometimes the computer asks you for different programs to open it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and click on my folder icon. Can you see that?
Yep.
So I'm going to double click on that, and then come over here on the left side and click downloads. You're on it. Okay, so what we need to do is copy this onto an SD card. So this is a clean SD card. I made sure that there was nothing on it to start, and that's what you want. You want to do this with a clean SD card. So I'm going to put this in the slot. Okay, and that popped up here, so it's in this folder. So I'm just going to minimize this folder. I'm going to highlight it, right click, copy, and then I'm going to open the SD card folder, right click, paste. And once you see it in there like that, you can be confident it's in there. I'm going to close that folder, and then I'm going to properly eject the SD card, which it probably doesn't matter. You probably could just pop it right out of your computer, but this is good. and that's the L firmware, so I'm putting it in this bag. At this point, we are ready to go to the field, so we'll see you out there. All right, we are out here at the home camera. This is a G camera. Here, come right in here. So you can see right now, can you see the screen good?
Yeah.
Can you see the 629?
Yep.
Okay. You can see the light is above clock. Now that is always a safe place to change an SD card. So I have the G and J firmware card right here in this bag. So I'm gonna just take the solar plug-in was in the way of the door. Take the card out that's currently in there. So I can't have that in my mouth because I need to talk. So that's going in my left pocket. There's no other cards in there. We're just gonna slide this one up in there. Okay. Okay. All right, so the firmware card is in there. Let's get back on the screen here. You see the screen good? All right, so we're gonna hit mode, over to commands, the 3 lines. And then we're gonna hit more until we get to update firmware. So you can see right now the firmware is on 8.3. That was the firmware that was the latest before this update. And then we're going to go to load firmware. To load the firmware, we're going to hit up twice. And it's going to say busy. And just stay on it. Okay, and this is good. That's what you want to happen. They are pretty bad, the bugs. Okay, so that happened successfully. It got back to welcome here. And now we're just, with this firmware update, it actually doesn't wipe out your settings, so you still should have the same settings as far as link menu, but we're gonna go check it out. So I'm gonna press up, and then I'm gonna go back to commands with the mode button, and then I'm going to hit more until I get to link menu. You can see it. Good. Okay. To get into the link menu, I'm hitting the up arrow twice. That actually did reset it, and it said the link mode was off. Your home unit or home camera, you want to be the home. So I just use the up and down arrows to change that to home. Now, link info. There's 11 cameras out here right now, so it says 11 nodes. Link channel 417, so that stayed the same. And that's all that we need to worry about on the link menu. Now, because I updated the firmware, I'm just gonna run the cell test again. And you are zoomed in here. You can see the screen good?
You can see it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so to get into the cell menu, I'm hitting the up arrow twice. Oh, I hit it too many times. Okay, so you only got to hit it once after the update. Okay, so cell mode on, cell rate 1 hour, so that stayed the same. That's what I would recommend, your cell rate to 1 hour. And now we're on the cell test, so I'm going to hit the up arrow and then confirm to get the test running. And we have pretty good service here, so this should happen relatively quickly. Just so dark. Okay, we got a success on the cell test. So now I'm going to hit more again. Cell ID, I'm not going to mess with that. We can do that on the back end. Camera number 1. As I update my cameras, I'm just going to, this is out, your home unit or home cellular camera is always number 1, and as we go through the remote cameras, the first one I do, I'm going to make cam 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. You can also name your camera right after that, which you can also do that on the back end, so not so important to do it here. But once we have that stuff, that's all we need to do here. Everything else can be done on the back end. So I'm just going to arm the camera now, and I'm hitting the mode button over to arm. As long as it starts counting down, we're good to go. And then zoom in on here. So actually, guys, this is really good to have this on camera because I almost forgot to take the firmware card out of there, so, and put the original card back in. So I'm gonna go back to clock, and this is the firmware card. I'm gonna put it back in the G firmware bag. Put the original card back in. Arm it again, and we're good. All right, we are at our first remote camera here, and I wasn't sure which kind of camera we were going to go to first, but it happens to be a G black flash. So we're actually going to use the same G and J firmware card that we used on the home. So what I'm going to do, you can get right down here. I'm going to go over to clock here. So it's on clock. We're taking, I just lost that card somewhere. Here it is right here. All right. Putting the card from the camera in my pocket. This is the firmware card. That's in. Okay, so once again, now I'm going to commands with the mode button. Gonna hit more until we get to load firmware. Load FW. Hitting the up arrow twice to load it. Looks like it's happening nicely for us. Jesus. All right, we got welcome. I'm going to hit the mode button again, so the light's on clock, and I'm going to take the firmware card out, put it back in the bag, and put the original card back in. Okay, now I'm going to go back to commands. You can see ext OK means it's reading the external power here. And I'm hitting more until I get to link menu. Now, the link menu, the user interface got much simpler in general with this update. So link menu, we got remote, that's what you want your remote cameras on, remote. And then you got your channel, we're on channel 417, that's the same as the home. Link count 250, that's just the number of images that can be waiting to be sent to the home camera, and I never change it from there. You shouldn't have to worry about that. If you're getting close to that, you can manage the photo load from the back end. And now with the update, link level should be an immediate reading. So immediately we got 36. For the system to work well, you want the level above 20. So 36, 34, that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna hit more again, and I'm gonna go to camera number here. I'm just gonna use the up and down arrows, and I'm gonna take this down to 2. The home unit was 1, this is 2. And then you could set the name if you didn't have that set. West Edge, that's what this camera is, so we're good there. And that's really all that we need to do. Once again, any of the settings like delay can be done from the app or from your camp account on Cuddeback. So I'm just gonna arm. And we are good to go on this one. So on to the next one. I believe that the next one is an L camera. Okay, we are at the next camera, and this is an L series Zoom IR. So I got the L firmware. And much easier access here. Are you in on this? So I'm gonna just hit the mode button so it's on clock, and then pull the SD card out. The firmware card in. Okay, and now that that's in, I'm gonna go to commands with mode, and this is a little different here. I'm gonna hit more until we get to device menu. Device menu, press up. See the model number here, the Zoom IR. Current firmware version is 1.8. And then we get here to load firmware. Up to confirm. And the nice thing about the L's is once it's updated, it tells you right there. Generation 3. Alright, so now we're back on clock. Now that the firmware is loaded, I'm gonna take the firmware card out. Put the camera card back in. Okay, and then mode over to commands. And now this is a very simple interface here. Link menu, press up, link mode remote, still on 417, link count 250. see what we get here for level. Another great feature, you get the link level immediately with the update, which it should settle in immediately before it would take a couple minutes. I'm gonna eat my words here, but we know this is gonna be good. Okay, so I'm gonna go to other menu and I'm gonna press up to get in there, and this is the third unit that we've done, so I'm gonna make this 3. And I'm not gonna worry about the cam name. You could do this here using the up and down arrows. Yeah, why not? I'll do it. Once that's all done, you can just arm the camera. And we're good to go. One thing that I do want to mention is if you're buying a Cuddelink system, the cameras that you buy right now are not up to date with this Generation 3 firmware. It's going to take cameras like a year to cycle through, so this update is going to be important to do if you are purchasing cameras, you know, within the near future as well. But that should be everything that you need to know to have success getting your cameras up to date. Happy hunting, guys. Thanks for watching.